Yeah! RIP, RIP headphone users, man. But yeah, I'm Kaboom. Yes, I could. I could hear you with the ASMR voice. And then it was loud. And then I got louder because that's how I am. It's kind of late to wake people up, but okay. Actually, this is the first episode, if you look to my right here, where there's actually daylight outside. Finally found some daytime to actually record this podcast rather than starting it at like, 10, 11 o'clock at night when we're both fast asleep, pretty much, and everybody else is asleep, so we can't talk loud. So today is a certified banger of an episode because we can actually talk loud. Wake up. It's football time. All right, Kansas City and Los Angeles. Game of the week. Game of the week. Um, yeah, yeah. College ball's only got a couple of games to look at this weekend, so once the ACC and SEC games start picking up, it'll get a little more interesting. But that's kind of on the. We're still in those non-conference games where you have people, where you have schools, paying little schools money to get the crap beat out of them normally. Unless you're a Sun Belt team, in which case, no, just take the money. But yeah, Thursday night football. Whoa. No Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen's out. Um, yeah, and Herbert can make plays to people. I mean, there was one guy, I think, I don't remember what his name was. His last name was Carter, I think, but I can't remember what his first name was. And he got a laser thrown to him after Keenan Allen got hurt right in the end zone between two defenders, and it was awesome. Did the Chief? I'm assuming the Chiefs have that -4.5. Okay, never mind. Because when you said Chargers cover 4.5, I'm like, what? They're not gonna win by four. They're not gonna win by 4.5. Yeah, that would make sense. Um, the Kansas City defense was about middle of the pack last week in terms of rush defense. Austin Eckler kind of had a week last week. Couldn't get much going against the Raiders. Um, Chargers the run defense looked really good. Now that could be because the Raiders were playing from behind the entire game, so they were more inclined to pass the ball. But I do feel like the Raiders also did try to run the ball, it just didn't work very effectively. And in the passing game, I mean, you got Herbert versus Mahomes. I think this is probably what their fifth matchup. I don't know who has the series right now. I'm assuming Mahomes does. I think the Chargers might have beaten them once. But I feel like this is the year that the Chargers can take over the AFC West. All right, we want to look. Let's look at some college games then. We'll move over to Saturday now. Look at some college games. Whoops. Auburn, Penn State. That'll be a good one. Uh, yeah, Texas A&M Miami is gonna be really good. But I do see what you're saying there about Penn State Auburn. That one's gonna be good. BYU Oregon I think could be good, depending on which version of Oregon we get. Dude, some people have BYU in the top five right now. I don't understand that. Yep. NC State versus Texas Tech will probably be a good game, just because it's a primetime game. Texas Tech is receiving votes for top 25. State is currently 16, so that's a closer matchup than people realize probably. Um, yeah, but we're still playing these like either FCS or really low level D1 teams right now, or the low level FBS teams right now versus like Tennessee and stuff. So UTSA versus Texas. Uh, no Quinn no Quinn Ewers for Texas. You think Texas is gonna stomp them? Oh no, that 100% was. Other than the fact that they lost their quarterback, that was definitely a moral victory. Yeah, they are, as they should be. Yeah. I'm inclined now to look at the Sun Belt to see what they could do this week. And Baylor is playing a Sun Belt team. They're playing Texas State, but guess who else is playing a Sun Belt team? Alabama. But they're playing the Louisiana Monroe. Yeah, that's not gonna be good. That's gonna be ugly. In fact, I don't think I've ever seen the spread on that game right now is 49.5. I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's like insane. Now I'm looking forward to Miami and Texas A&M. I feel like whoever wins that game is going to emerge as like an actual contender for sure. Clemson, Clemson. All right, South Carolina fan. Oh, you're done with that? No, no more South Carolina fan. All right. Yes, there is. You said Jets and Browns. I'm looking through it on here. So let's see. We got the Chargers and Chiefs. Then it shows Patriots and Steelers. Steelers win that game. Steelers win. Patriots looked terrible against Miami. Panthers Giants. Giants win. Oh, that's true. Well, let's go ahead and do that then. All right, who's your pick'em? Let's do pick'em. Yeah. So who'd you use you used the Colts last week, so you cannot use the Colts this week. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you cannot use the Colts. Honestly, we should just. I'm just gonna look and see whatever team's playing the Jaguars. Shots. No, they didn't actually. Like my plan for this whole pick'em thing was to like stick to one team, and my idea was like the Jaguars, the Texans, or the Bears, all of which played good. Who is your lock pick for this week? they, they didn't look very good. I cannot use the Ravens. I think I had Ravens versus the Jets last week. I'm not as high on the Ravens as everybody else is, so I was okay with that one. But I do want to look for a team that I think like one of the colder games this week. This might be a good time to use the Steelers. I don't know though, because the Patriots could heat up. Oh yeah, and before we get too far, for those of you that are watching the podcast episodes, um, we would like to ask you guys for your opinions on something. So if you get a pick wrong, and when we say wrong, I guess we're gonna include tie with win, so they didn't lose. So I guess pick'em is this pick'em thing is like the team will not lose. So a tie, I guess, is okay. But if your pick'em team loses, we want you guys to come up with some punishments that we can do and record to put on the channel that are like funny and something you will want to see us do for getting a pick absolutely wrong. So go ahead and chime in, drop a comment, drop some stuff in the Discord. I'll probably create a channel for like punishments for stream or whatever. But yeah, while we're on the topic of the pick'em thing, yeah, drop your comments down and give us some horrible things to do to ourselves when we get this stuff wrong. Huh. Oh yes. Mm-hmm. All right. So would you like me to run you through my thought process? How good do I think the Cincinnati Bengals are going to be? Like, do I want to use that now? I almost used the Broncos last week against the Seahawks, and that would have backfired on me. I just didn't have it in my heart to say somebody was guaranteed going to beat the Seahawks. I don't want to do no punishment. um, you know what? Cleveland Browns at home against the Jets. The Jets sucked. Joe Flacco is their starting quarterback. Joe Flacco helped out the Ravens for the first time since 2012 last week. He plays for the Jets. So that was horrendous. I don't think the Jets will bounce back. I do not think they're a good team. They drafted well, but their picks just they didn't show out last week. I think the Browns are a better team. Myles Garrett is a beast. I think Jacoby Brissett is a decent starter or a decent backup to put in to start. So I mean he can get the job done. You still got that two-headed rushing monster with Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. They'll run slam over the Jets defense. And who do the Browns have at receiver now? Oh, they have Amari Cooper. I forgot about that. Yeah, because the Cowboys traded him for next to nothing. Yeah, Browns. Browns beat the Jets. It had to be an upset. It had to be an upset. Yeah, that was. Uh, I took the Lions over the Eagles, and that almost hit. I mean, granted, the Lions only scored in garbage time, but still, that almost hit. Let me go on. I need to go on. I need to go. All right, FanDuel Sportsbook. I have to see who's an underdog. Uh oh. You're taking the Bears in Lambeau, dude. Mm-hmm. Hmm. I see. All right, let me walk through some of the ones that I'm thinking about here. Vikings plus 1.5 at the Eagles. I feel like that could definitely happen. Oh, money line. That's right. Plus 112. That's not a big underdog, but they're technically underdogs. That's one of them. Um, Seahawks plus 350 at the Niners. I saw enough in the first half, and then I saw nothing the second half. Dolphins plus 160 in Baltimore. Um, Jacksonville 160 plus 168 at home against Indianapolis, where the Colts have not won since 2014. They're division rivals. Jacksonville's been a bottom dweller since then, pretty much, apart from that 1 year in 2017. Yet the Colts still could not find a way to win in Duval. So that's a pretty enticing pick. The Steelers are actually underdogs against the Patriots at plus at plus at plus 102. I you know the Commanders looked pretty good last week against the Jaguars. No, I love Dan Campbell. If they're favored to win, I really hope they win. So I don't want to do that. You know what? You're gonna like this. You're really gonna like this one. Miami Dolphins plus 160 at the Baltimore Ravens. I think. Oh, that's tough though because I really want to take Jacksonville too. Ugh. Yeah, they are about the same. I feel like yeah, we'll go with Miami at Baltimore just because I feel like Indianapolis after tying with the Texans, they're gonna get Jonathan Taylor the ball. They were working on a kind of quirky offense with Matt Ryan in his first year in Indianapolis. I mean, they've rotated through starting quarterbacks like the Browns did for a long time, and I feel like playing against the Houston Texans. Granted, they should have won that game by probably like 20 points, but it's okay. First game jitters happen to everybody. Um, the Baltimore Ravens only put up 24 points against the Jets. Their rushing attack was horrible. They didn't need, the Baltimore Ravens have historically been like the best 100-yard rushing team in the last couple of years. Like they've set records for games in a row of over 100 rushing yards, and then they got like 60 something against the Jets. Did not let up rush yards. Mm-hmm. Miami looked really good last week against New England. I do think Baltimore's a better team than New England, but the only part I, the only part I don't like is the fact that Miami's on the road. But I think plus 160 on the Miami Dolphins. Now you went big. What was your money? Plus 360. Wow. Yeah, that's what it's showing on FanDuel. Superior, superior. I don't know, man. I'm going. I'm going with my guy Pat McAfee and FanDuel. Let's see. No, because I feel like the Bills are like I don't want to say they're a lock every week, but they're a lock most weeks. And I don't see. I feel like there are probably about 18 to 20 teams that can beat the Titans. Yeah. Well, and that's where my thought process was with the Browns. I'm like the Browns are going to they're not going to be heavy favorites in most games. They got a tough schedule. I think this is the one game I'm for sure confident that they will win. I just realized something. This is the second week in a row I've had my lock pick against the Jets. I didn't even like I didn't even intentionally do that. Like that was completely coincidental. Really? Oh my gosh. Dude, the Jets no. Oh, one thing to add to the Niners Seahawks game is Kenneth Walker will be making his NFL debut. Now, Kenneth Walker is no, hang on. Here we go. I'm transforming into Chris Collinsworth. Now, here's a guy who scored 5 touchdowns against Michigan in their battle last year and actually helped Michigan State beat them. Phew. Okay, I can't stand Chris Collinsworth. Thank God I'm out of that phase. What, the Chicago Bears? Dude, I was thinking the funny thing is I was actually thinking about putting like my lock pick on the Packers. The only thing I don't well, my thought process is the Bears are not good. The Bears won last yeah, in a swamp with Trey Lance at quarterback. I mean, seriously. Yeah, but you know, I don't remember if we picked division winners at the beginning of the season or not. Okay, good. Because I do not think the Packers will win the NFC North. It could be an overreaction, but I think the Vikings are probably a better overall team just because they have depth at receiver. If the Packers front office, if he's a big target, Alan Lazard is pretty much a tight end. Like he's not even an actual receiver. I mean, I'm pretty sure he's like 6'3", 6'4". I mean, he's about as big as DK Metcalf. And so while that is good, I mean, Sir DK's our receiver one, but we have Tyler Lockett to back him up. And I mean, they got like Amari Rogers. They've got God, I don't even know who. One stat that I saw that summed it up really well is that that Devontae Adams had more receiving yards in Week 1 than the entire Packers receiver room. That's an L. That is a massive L. I wasn't either. We saw this in preseason. Aaron Rodgers was getting pretty upset with his receivers for running the right routes, dropping balls, and you see it immediately evident in Week 1. Who we got on Sunday and Monday night? Let's look at our primetime games. 2 Monday night games. Oh, we have a Sunday night and 2 Monday nights. So we've got the Packers and Bears. So the funny thing is the storyline for Week 2, and I think this is the way the NFL set it up. If the Packers had won and the Bears had lost, that game would have been for the all-time wins record. But now the Bears are actually ahead because they won and the Packers lost. So that game doesn't have as much of a significant meaning as they were hoping it was going to. But I mean, it's still a Packers-Bears game. You know it's going to be close no matter how good the teams actually are. I do think I think that they got plus 9.5 on the Bears, though. I mean, I would easily take that. I don't think the Packers are that much better than the Bears. They are better. No, I'm taking. No. I'm taking the. I mean, if I were to bet on this, I would take the Bears 9.5. Point spread. Titans Bills. We actually saw this game not too long ago on a Tuesday night, and that was a pretty memorable night. Like I remember, it was during the first COVID season because the Bills or the Titans were having COVID problems. And didn't the Bills come out and win that game? I think this is when the Titans were like heavy favorites, and the Bills just went out there and smashed them, which is going to happen again, I believe. It's another 9.5 spread. I would take Bills not minus 9.5. I just think they're too good. I think Tre'Davious White will be coming back soon too. Mm, you think so? You think so? So the Eagles game last week was kind of deceiving because they kind of let up at the end of the game and the Lions kept it close. It's the Lions versus the Vikings, yeah. Rematch of the NFC Championship game a few years ago. Minnesota's going to want revenge for that curb stop that they took, and I believe it was in US Bank Stadium too. Or what? No, it was in Philadelphia, I think. Uh, I could see that game going either way, honestly. Um, Dim boys no longer have Dim boys are not playing in prime time this week. Thank God. Let's see. 7.5. Yeah, Cooper Rush at quarterback with nobody to throw to except CD Lamb. Bro, the Bengals can. No, no, no. Cooper Rush. That's an L for the Cowboys. They're gonna lose by a lot. Honestly, with Dak being hurt, I think the Cowboys might be a bottom 5 team in the NFL. Yeah, I would have eliminated them before week one just to get rid of Cowboys fans. Oh yeah, come on, boys. I want to hear them boys in the comments. Let me know. Yeah. Hey, that's how. That sounds like what I was saying about Geno Smith. um, Rams and Ra- hang on one second. Rams and Falcons. Dude, the Rams look bad. They will. 10.5. I'm taking Falcons 10.5 because they'll have like a 30-point lead and lose it. Um, yeah, that's really all I care about. I could see the Saints going into. I could see the Saints beating the Buccaneers. Although I've I've always been a believer in Jameis Winston. Um, let's see. This is for some reason I got to baseball on here. Let me see. Is there anything interesting going on here? No. R.I.P. Mike Trout streak. But yeah. All right. Let's. Hockey season starts soon. And up until about 2 years ago, I was not a big hockey fan, or 3 years ago probably, but I started watching it, and it is so much fun. I cannot wait for hockey season. Yes. Do you remember who it was? Oh, come on, man. That's cool. Yeah, you did. All right, that's fair. But Hurricanes looking pretty good this year. We did take a hit in losing Vincent Trocheck and Nino Niederreiter, but we got some defensive help, so Jacob Slavin doesn't have to be Superman as much this year. Which thank the Lord, because Jacob Slavin has quietly been a like top two defenseman in the NHL, and just nobody gives him credit for it because he doesn't score points. He does his job. I was actually in Colorado when, or I was in Colorado during the Blues Avalanche series, and I was working my summer job in New Mexico during pretty much the entirety of the playoffs. And I actually said if the Avalanche and Hurricanes played a game, I was going to the Stanley Cup Finals. I was going to find a way to get back up to Colorado and watch a game in Denver, but it didn't happen. The Rangers happened, and Igor Shesterkin, who had a amazing year last year, totally ended us. So who? I'm actually going to an Islanders game, the Islanders Canes game in Raleigh, I believe, on the 28th of October. Preseason goes on at the end of this month till about the second or third week in October, and then the regular season starts up. And I think the first game I'll make it to is that Islanders game. Um, do you have any hot takes or players or anything in hockey? Like, do you have a Stanley Cup final prediction or something? No, the Avs won. The Avs won last year. They've been to 3 straight. Who was it before them? I can't. It was the Blues and Bruins before the Lightning, and the Blues won it. Go Canes. I could see it. I could honestly see it. We are predicted to be a top 5 team in the NHL this year, and I could see why. We lost some offensive firepower, but we also got a good. We got a couple of good defensemen. Our young guys are stepping up. Seth Jarvis, who played his rookie year last year, was phenomenal for a rookie. I think he'll step up. He'll be part of that first line with Aho and Svechnikov, I believe. Maybe the second line. You know, they were really good last year. They won. I think they won the President's Trophy last year. They were really good in the regular season. They did, and they fell apart. I mean, Tampa killed them. Tampa killed them. Tampa was kind of a false low seed though. I mean, everybody knew that the Lightning were going to be better than their seeding showed. I think. No, actually, I feel like that's a safe pick. I'm trying to think of a bolder pick. Except, so I my Eastern Conference is down to 2 teams. Who do you think they are? Not Lightning. Yeah, not super bold, but maybe. Depends on who you ask. Yeah, R- Rangers. I'm about to say it depends on who you ask. I feel like the Rangers are kind of in the same boat as the Lightning, where one injury to Igor Shesterkin tanks their season. That's one good thing about the Hurricanes is they have depth in goal that I don't think any other team in the NHL has. Because while and this has been a historical thing under Brindamore, while these other teams will have like one superstar goalie who starts 80% of their games, Brindamore rotates between 2 good starters. And Freddie Anderson was among the best in hockey last year before he got hurt. So I think if Freddie Anderson and Antti Ranta can stay healthy the entire season, we will have a good shot, especially in the playoffs, since we won't have to be starting the same goaltender every single game. We can actually rotate him through, and I think we can win. I think we can do really good. I'm gonna look through the Western Conference real quick just to see if there's anyone that I actually think can dethrone the Avs. Ouch. It's not looking very promising. Um, Calgary, I think, is pretty good. Wait, never mind. Calgary traded a bunch of their players to Florida. They're not gonna be the same. How about the Minnesota Wild? You know, you want to hear something crazy? They were the last year they had the second most points in the Western Conference. In the East. Carolina finished third last year in points behind Colorado and Florida. I just I think Florida crumbles under pressure before we have to wrap it up. Yeah. All right. Should I go spicy or should I go not spicy? I don't think anyone's going to dethrone the Avs in the Western Conference. I think the Eastern Conference teams have a chance, but I think it's going to be the Avs. And you know what? This is going to sound horrible. It's going to sound horribly biased, but the Hurricanes are going to make the Stanley Cup playoffs, the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I think, I think, I think the goalie depth of the Hurricanes this year will actually will help them out. I think we made some good additions in the offseason, and I think that we are finally a team that has more experience around us. Um, and we are in prime. We're in our prime year, our prime window for winning a cup right now. I could also see the Edmonton Oilers heating up, though. That was gonna be my other pick. I have no clue. We might have. Oh my goodness, yes. Football. Mm, but football's better than golf, Preston. I know you can't say that, but it is. All right, y'all. Like and subscribe. Join the Discord. Link will be in the description. Make fun of my accent all you want. Um, but yeah. Let us know some of the punishments you want most likely Preston to do for when his lock picks fail. He kind of got a pass at week one because a tie is not a win, but we'll let it slide. You're 0 and 1. If you tie again, no, we're making you do something. Yeah. Yeah, if you get another tie, though, that equates to. If you get two ties, that equates to a loss. How about that? Can we agree on that? Two, it would show. Yeah, because that's technically. I mean, two ties is the same thing as 1 and 1 statistically, so we'll just go with that. So yeah, drop down some punishments in the description for Preston to do when he loses or gets another tie. Um, okay, nothing's. I don't think anything's gonna beat that Oregon Georgia one that I predicted earlier in the year. That was bad. uh, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Let's see. Leave your comment down below about the Stanley Cup playoffs for this year. Who do y'all think is gonna win? Who do you think is a dark horse contender? Who's your favorite? And yeah, New Jersey Devils. Quinn Hughes. No, not Quinn Hughes. I gotta read. I gotta read it from my rosters. I forgot. All right, y'all, and take care. We'll see you next time.